So May 15th this year, we saw Ibrahim Traore establishing a Customs and Traditions Day in Burkina Faso, in which they were celebrating Heritage Month in Burkina Faso. And during this period, Ibrahim Traore visited the National Museum, which is a double symbol for the people of Burkina Faso in their search of true dignity, peace, and sovereignty. It was a wonderful day. It was a great day because in most African countries, let me tell you this, guys, we have two major religions in Africa. We have Christianity and Islam. And when you look at Islam, Islam has been in Africa for many, many years. So it's not a new religion. So in many places where you find Islam in Africa, you find that it's embedded in African traditions. If you go to West Africa, if you go, to East Africa. But when it comes to Christianity, Christianity is a new religion for Africa. And mostly it's not embedded, kind of fights with culture. And you find that most people who practice African spirituality are prosecuted. When you go to East Africa, you go to Kenya, you find those people who practice African spirituality are kind of looked at as they are worshipping dead demons, the devil, and all that. You cannot talk to dead people and all that. And it's our ancestors. In fact, we have been seeing a lot of people saying our ancestors are not Satan, they are not the devil, they are not demons. Yeah. So Ibrahim Traore saw that, and he said May 15th will be the Customs and Traditions Day. And when we talk about it was a culture day. Culture incorporates our African spirituality, because there's no way you can say I'm practicing African spirituality without I'm practicing African culture without being inside African spirituality. Watch this video of Ibrahim Traore. Listen to what he says during this day and be blown away.
Social cohesion is cultural. It's normally up to us to cultivate that. And by visiting everything I have seen here, the values of solidarity and social cohesion, we have them in our culture. We are our culture, and we are losing that. I think that we must put the means here to allow you to supervise the youngest to understand the very foundations of our culture. Where do we come from, and why have we lost our values? Solidarity, mutual aid, social cohesion, and everything we have. We have to come back to that. Currently, I have seen a lot of things, just the construction of habitats. Some communities have already thought about this. If today we even applied that knowledge in the face of this war, we would have won the fight. How did people design masks that could alert people in danger? Today, people are sitting in their village, the enemy comes to attack, and they are surprised. If we had preserved this culture, to always have people in postures around the villages, we would be able to alert them. And the mask is camouflage. In fact, it is camouflage that allows the person to blend into nature and to alert those who are behind and the fighters to be able to act. We lost a lot of things, and we need to go back to the source to be able to draw these good values and be able to make Burkina Faso what we wish. Because our ancestors fought to leave us this land. We didn't know how, but now, through you, we understand what measures they took in the face of adversity. Whether it was natural or those who came to fight, they had taken a lot of measures. So today, we must be able to draw inspiration from that and take the same measures so that Burkina exists for generations to come. So this day is good, as you have said it. It is the day of customs, traditions, the day of Heritage Month also. I think that it is not in vain. It is not just spiritual, it is also a way of life. So there are a lot of things, values, that people need to develop so that Burkina can become what we want. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck to you.
So guys, this came on May 15th, which was, I think, on a Thursday. And when it happened, the previous Sunday, we saw a priest, a Catholic priest, his name is Father Blaise Bikamba, criticizing the return to tradition And this is what he said. It's like a dog returning to its vomit. That's what I'm saying. As in, Christianity really, really prosecutes those people who practice African spirituality. And he said that, okay, he took advantage of his evangelical gathering on May 1st to criticize the popular discourse advocating a strict return to ancestral traditions. In front of a crowd of 25,000 young people at the municipal stadium, he called for a critical and nuanced analysis of the tradition, warning against the dangers of a blind return to the past. That's what he said, a blind return. He said this, if they said rather to do everything to conquer our African values, I would agree. But to advocate a return to tradition for what price? That's what he said, highlighting the harmful aspect of certain traditional practices. Yeah, that's what we are saying. As in, the new religion is fighting our very old traditional African spirituality. But when Ibrahim Traore talked, he said something that you guys have listened to. And he said, if today we even applied the knowledge of our ancestors in the face of war, we would have won the fight. And he even gives an example of how people designed masks that could alert people in danger. And these masks would make someone like camouflaged in a way that these people would not know that these people is watching them. And he would run camouflaged and go and alert the soldiers to come and fight. So they would be like, how did they even know that we were coming? We give an example of Benin voodoo, and how the Zangbeto, the spiritual security. They used the spirits of ancestors to protect themselves. And this is what was used by Haiti in conquering France in 1800s, where they became the first black nation to be independent. So Ibrahim Traore is saying, if we can learn the ways of our ancestors and use them to fight for ourselves, we can make Burkina Faso what we want it to be.
Yeah.
And remember, culture comes together with medicine, like our medicine, our spirituality, and he says it's social cohesion, our customs, our traditions, we have lost all this and we need to go back to our way of life. So this is the knowledge in which we saw Mali starting an institute, which they call an institute of occult science, whole university just to study our African culture, African knowledge, what the people who fight us call witchcraft. But this is something, and there's a lady from Zimbabwe or Congo who said that we should use even our own, occult sciences or witchcraft to fight for the liberation of Africa.
We should. I'm also saying the same.
Yeah, we
Congo
should
wouldn't
do
be in
that.
this mess.
Yeah, we should do that. We should invest in the knowledge of our ancestors and use it to fight for our freedom. So Mali is another one. We say that when you see Mali doing something, Burkina Faso is doing something. So Mali started a university for occult sciences, African knowledge, African traditions.
I saw a lot of them going to Mali from all over Africa.
Yeah. Then we are seeing Ibrahim Traore starting a culture day, May 15th every year, in which the people will celebrate and learn what they know. Because a lot of young Africans want to go back to traditions. And when we watch their TV, Burkina 24, Faso 7, we saw a lot of spiritual leaders of African traditions coming forward to talk about it, and it was amazing. Let me tell you guys, it was very amazing. We need this in Africa.
So what I can say from this is that the lack of knowledge is the cause of the perishing of a lot of people. When the Bible says, I don't know what book it is. The Bible says in the book of, you guys will write the book, yeah? My people perish because of lack of knowledge, yeah? And we are seeing a lot of Africans perishing because of the lack of knowledge about their culture, who they are, who we are as an African people, how our ancestors lived, the kind of knowledge that our ancestors...
Our medicines.
Yes, the kind of knowledge that is within our DNA. Do you know that we have a lot of knowledge, even if you have not woken up? you have the knowledge in you. It's just a matter of tapping into that, space, and everything you will be clear to you. Because sometimes you find that you understand things and you wonder, how did I even understand this in the spiritual way? But it's because it's embedded in your DNA. We are perishing because of the lack of knowledge. And when you hear this pastor saying it's like a dog going back to his vomit, this is somebody who his knowledge was wrapped off totally by religion.
He's dead asleep.
He has zero understanding of who he is, and the only thing that he can talk about is a religion that has a book to back itself up. For our knowledge as an African people, it's in our DNA. Some things, if you don't understand, you just need to consult deeper within you, and you get the understanding, the meaning of everything that you need to know. Captain Ibrahim Traore, we are always saluting you, because the kind of knowledge that this guy has, the wisdom that this guy has, I doubt there's, maybe from the Sahel states, those are the guys that have that kind of wisdom. But for the rest of them, you see somebody worshipping a white man because he thinks that that's the wisdom that, an African man can get. The kind of wisdom that an African man can get is only from a white man with a white skin and blonde hair.
And by the way, do you know they are coming to study our culture and traditions?
They've always done.
They are coming to take it away, and you see our stories being their stories.
Because we are stupid and allowing it to happen.
We are fighting our spirituality when they are taking it and using it against us.
Yeah, we have a lot of wisdom from the older generation. We have a lot of knowledge that is within the older generation, that if we don't tap into that, a lot of us will be misled by these stories that are tamed African stories.
Demons.
No, some of them, they come up with movies. For example, in South Africa, they have a movie about Shaka Zulu, somebody who helped in the struggle in South Africa, But the way that they will write our stories will be twisted in a way that we have to, there's a kind of narrative that they want to tell from our own story. So you feel like you're watching your own story when it's a narrative that they are trying to teach you. But if we don't allow ourselves to tell these stories, to learn about it, then we'll be misled for the rest of our life.
I think Father Blaise Pikaba is trying to save his hustle. Because imagine he had an audience of 25,000 young people.
And he was telling them that
it's like going back to vomit. But imagine all those 25,000 are bringing something as a tithe, offering, and all that.
That's what they want to hear.
So if you tell them this, it's because you know. And it's happening all over Africa. The awakening is huge. Young people no longer go to this
and the
establishment.
Church is fighting it so much.
Yeah, so they know that young people want to go back to the spirituality of their ancestors. And if they manage to go back, it will be a big loss for the business. So I think Father Blaise Pikaba, as much as he can be brainwashed and doesn't know what he's saying, he's also trying to save his hustle.
I think he knows. Most of them know what is happening. It's just that they have to protect it with
their
every way possible.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah, so he should because like Dr. Mumbi says, the ancient ones are back, and you are not going to stop
them. And we
them.
are the ancient
Father
ones.
Blaise
Anyway.
Pikaba. Yeah, we are back. Like we never left.
And giving them sleepless nights.
So seeing Ibrahim Traore and Assimi Goita doing this, like bringing back our knowledge and culture. Like we have this video of Mali starting their local pharmaceutical company. It's now tapping into the local medicine.
That is it.
But if you go to countries like, for example, talk about Kenya, you find people just cut trees without caring. But you find that for people who know, they'll tell you that tree can heal like 10 diseases.
Exactly.
That herb can heal like 15 diseases. Why are you cutting it? You don't know. You just think it's a shrub.
This should tell you a lot about the narrative that we've been sold. For example, climate change. It comes with their own tree species, some which even damage the soil, the environment. You see some trees like the pine, whatever is under that tree it cannot grow anything. So you might feel like, yes, it's a wood, whatever tree, but the damages that it does to the soil is more than the benefits that you will get, at the end of the day. So when you see some of these things, say you see an organization coming to say it's to help, plant trees, grow what, climate change, just be very cautious.
If they are not planting our indigenous
just
tree.
be very cautious, because the species that we are also getting, not medicinal, damaging our own very medicinal plants. Now we don't have anything.
Yeah, we have to rely on them. So guys, let us know what you think in the comment section. Do you approve of Ibrahim Traore using Africa indigenous knowledge to fight to fight this war? And as he says, they will win this war.
Yeah.
Victory is here because they are using what our ancestors gave them. He says our ancestors fought for us to have this land and this knowledge. Yeah, guys. Also, if you'd like to support us, we have a buy me a coffee link on the description. It's just for $5, 5 for me, 5 for her. We get to tell you more stories and more amazing African stories, African spirituality, African culture, and to tell you where you come from and where we are going. We see you
And the next one.